welcome our director, Dr. P. Gnaneshekar sir, who is a pillar of this university, who has helped us to gain more knowledge about quality, and who also gave us an opportunity to be a part, to conduct this webinar series. I welcome you for this webinar series, sir. I'd like to introduce and welcome the resource person of today, Professor Vivek Raghavan, who is the chairperson and empowered committee for admissions and promotions of Manipal College of Health Professionals, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Manipal. I welcome you, sir. It's a great pleasure for us to have you, in our midst. In spite of your busy schedule, you have accepted our invitation to share your wisdom to us. Vivek Raghavan sir has got a vast experience of more than 20 years in teaching. He is the chairperson of Empowered Committee of Admissions and Promotions. He is a senior administrative officer of IQAC of Manipal Academy of Higher Education. He is a deputy coordinator of Integrated Management System of Manipal. And also he has conducted more than 75 integrated management audit systems of the Constituent College of Mahe. It's my great pleasure to welcome you, sir. I'd like to also welcome all the heads of institutions, IQAC coordinators of various institutions, placement officers, faculty of various disciplines of Vinayaka Missions Research Foundation team to be university for being a part of this webinar series. I would like to hand over the platform to, I'd like to our director, Gnaneshekar sir, to give his introductory keynote address and then start the program.
Thank you, Sam.
Morning.
Morning to all of you. It's indeed a pleasure to be before you on this Saturday morning. All of you are preparing for the coming festival season of Diwali. But whatever be the festivals, quality matters. So webinars will continue. So with that motto, this today's webinar is being organized by the Physiotherapy College of our university. I appreciate both the principal and the IQAC coordinator of Vinayaka College of Physiotherapy, Salem, for coming forward to host this webinar of the quality webinar series. This is the 34th webinar. Just like that, we have crossed nearly 3 years. With this webinar, we started during the COVID season to be in touch with our own IQAC coordinators and the faculty of the university. And now it has become a calendar of event. So every alternate Saturdays, this has become a routine. And even if you forget the breakfast on Saturday morning, you won't forget the webinar. So that is how this has been taken by our IQAC coordinators. And we have been looking at various topics, but till now, no one had the guts of touching placement. Placement is something which is really a botherization for every institution in the country. And even post-COVID, this has become even more disastrous because most of the companies have stopped, their recruitment process, and institutions are finding it really difficult because the outcome of education is a progression. So progression, the first point in progression is placement. Very few become entrepreneurs, self-employed, and even a negligible portion go for higher education. So the major chunk of people who graduate out of an institution go for placement. So placement finds a very important role in sustenance of an institution. Now, when I look at the topic, quality enhancement and campus placement, I really wonder how we can have quality in campus placement, where as of now we don't even have a choice for campus placement. We need to go behind the companies for coming to the campus for placement. So in that scenario, finding a good quality company or quality process, I really wonder, and I'm waiting for what Professor Vivek has to share with us today. I eagerly await his words. I do hope all our participants today will take home wonderful information so that they can improve quality and see that quality is a continuous process, and they follow the processes so that they can achieve results. Once again, I congratulate each one of you for participating in this webinar. Have a wonderful Saturday morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Vivek sir, the platform is yours, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Janshekhan sir, Sam sir, and Sudhakar sir.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to talk on quality enhancements in campus placement. And as you know, Manipal Academy of Higher Education is conferred IOE status in 2020, and we got NAC double plus accreditation also. So we look, the major focus is now on our institute. I work with the Manipal College of Health Profession is enhancing the campus placement. This is one way of the sustenance, as Gnanasekhar sir said, one way of sustenance of the institute. How many students get placed from your institute? So I will be just, whatever knowledge I have, I will be sharing with you, what are the challenges involved in campus placement, how we can overcome these challenges, and what role the institute or the university can play in overcome these challenges or barriers which is hindering the campus placement. So moving on to why this is a report which is published by Public Health Foundation of India in 2019. If you look at the report in the down row, you can see allied health professionals. The need of allied health professionals, they have given around 64 lakhs vacancy of allied professionals as such in India. And if you look at the colleges, there are around 400 colleges which across the India offering allied health programs. But for example, the students which we are coming out of our institution, okay, they have to be placed. And you see the report, it says 64 lakhs of vacancy available, and we don't know where these vacancies are, how our students can be, the students doesn't know about this, and students doesn't know how they can apply for these kind of vacancies. The huge vacancies are available. This is a 2019 data. I feel coming to the year 2023 it will be more. So campus placement or campus career placement cell plays an important and crucial role in placing the students. Okay, so one of the thing is that they can make aware of the students about the different various vacancies across the globe or across the country, and we can place them, but we should have a data or knowledge of how we can place them. Apart from that, we have to prepare our students for the campus placement, because the companies or industries which those who are coming to the campus for recruitment, and they look into the several aspects of the students, especially the academics definitely, but apart from the academics they look into attitude, soft skill, team leadership, team leading capability, teamwork, all those aspects that we will be discussing later on slides. So moving on to this, why this placement is important for each and every university or institution. So one thing is that we all know we go for NAC ranking and NIRF ranking, and there is a criteria where we have to address this placement. We have to provide the data for the placement, the institute data of the placement. Especially when it comes to NAC, we have a clause 5.2.2, where we have to furnish the data, what is the average student placed and what is the number of self-employed professionals. And the clause 5.42, which talk about even alumni contribution to the placement. Then 5.1, exactly the 5.1, the student support and student support system, which is provided by the institute. So as a part of the ranking, placement becomes an important criterion. And if you go to NIRF, it's mainly for I feel mainly for universities, engineering institute, pharmacies. Still, the allied health has to be included in the NIRF ranking, where peer perception, where we have to look for the peer perception and academic peer, whether there it we have a weightage of 100 points, where it speak about they collect NIRF, collect conduct survey among employees, professionals, corporate industries, to get feedback about the student, especially those who are placed in different institution. So we look at in all these aspects, placement or career placement cell becomes an important pillar of the uh, our objective, university objective. So, and it also speak about the infrastructure, quality of teaching, students skill training, uh, how we train the students, how you equip them for the future. And it overall, it's talk about the quality of the institution. The students which goes out of the institution actually speak about the quality of the institution. And this also this actually helps us to gain more admission, and it helps in sustenance of the institution. So when we take say placement, what I feel is the placement and academics are the two sides of a coin. So we have to give equal importance to academics and the placement. And what I feel is now we have understood the value of placement, how it plays an important role in the sustenance of the institution. The value of placement has not given due importance. A few years back, it was not given so much due importance as equal to the academics. Okay, then give equal importance to the placements as it is affect the admission and thereby sustenance of the institute. So what we have to think in such a way that the institute can have a good placement if the students are marketable. That is one important point. Our students has to be marketable, and when the students are marketable, then the best corporate will come and they will choose the students. So for this, all this to happen, we should have a good infrastructure. Good apart from the good infrastructure, we should have a good curriculum, so that we can train them, or we can prepare them for prepare them ready for the job, and good faculty, and overall it will help in the sustenance of the institute. So coming on to the objective, so in order to have all this, we should have a centralized placement system. So when I say centralized placement system, each and every institute should have a placement cell, or we can say career placement cell. So some dedicated faculty members should be appointed as a placement officer. So coming on to the objective of the placement cell, the major objective of the any campus placement cell is to identify the talented students from a pool of students, and we can place them across the industry. Apart from this is the main objective of a placement cell. Apart from this, actually placement cell has to play a role. Actually, the placement cell has to prepare the students for the job interviews. So it acts as a role of a counselee in preparing student for the actual job, and it helps students be aware of the different occupation available across for exploration. And we should, and also they should, placement should, cell should have an understanding the occupational interest of each and every students, because the student choices difference and their interest, there is a difference, because some maybe want to work, or some maybe want to start their own, for example, when it comes to allied health sciences, physiotherapists can establish clinic, occupational therapists can establish their clinic. So wherever there is a choice, there is a different in choices of the students, so we need to understand the difference in their choices and act accordingly. Then also majority of the time what we have seen is students always in the final students, or the students those who are going out of the institution, always in a dilemma what to choose. So it's our duty, or the placement cell duty is to help them in decision making, or help them in if somebody might be interested in going for higher education, so it's our duty to help them apply for courses, be make them aware of different higher education program available in across the country or abroad. So these are the broad, these are the uh, main objective of the campus placements, placement cell. When we look into the next, we will look into the challenges in placement, actually, which is mainly related to graduate. What are the challenges we are going to face related to those graduate students which is coming out of the institution? So as you know, our country, not only globally, there are technological transformation is going on, and we are going through the fourth industry revolution. Technology is very important when it comes to uh, the, the students and the graduates. So how technology, uh, how they adapt to the technology, that also important. So we have to, as we then job hunting skill, how we prepare them for the job hunting. These are the certain uh, graduate, the challenges faced by the graduates. One is job hunting skill, one is how they adapt to the technological transformation, and how they're going to fill the gap between skill set and industry requirement. It all depends upon whether we have, whether they had a chance to expose to the industry before they comes, goes out of the institution. Then job expectation, people will have a different job expectations, whether the job which is offered to them meeting the expectations of the candidate. Then job adaptability, how they adapt to the particular job environment, that also matters. Then practical workability, what skill they have to practically work in that particular industry or institutional environment, and how they adapt to that. Then specifically performance in the interview, that also matters. Then social and cultural skills. So nowadays soft skills is very important, very important for graduates, because the companies which usually comes for in job interviews, they not only look into the academic achievements, but they look into the soft skills, how they have developed the soft skills also. So, so we will just look at these points one by one. What do you mean by job hunting skill? Like when it comes to job hunting skill, we have to prepare our students for uh, applying jobs. Mainly, they should have a proper skill of writing a resume. They should attain the interview skills, how to face the interview, and some are very good in creating a good CV, but some are not that much confident to writing a resume. So you need to have a kind of mechanism to address all these kind of issues which students are facing. Okay. Even we have to help them in how to help them how to, or train them to how they can give an interview, how to go about an interview process. And sometimes what happens, the student might be good in academics, but he failed to display well in front of the interviewers. So he may miss out a chance. So how to train them? We have to look into those aspects, how to train them, how well they can face the interview. So these are the things which comes under when we talk about job hunting skills. Next is the technological transformation. As I told you, we are into the fourth industrial revolution, and we are already witnessing a lot of technological innovations, like such as artificial intelligence, big data, virtual reality, blockchain, Internet of Things, all this. So somewhere in the curriculum, what I feel is somewhere in the curriculum, we have to include some amount of these technology, innovations like artificial intelligence, big data. They should be aware of this at some level. They should be acquainted with the technological advancement. It can be included as an elective, or can be part of an uh, curriculum. So when we look at, as I was going through the Financial Time, one of the Financial Time report, I went through this particular data where they assume that the physiotherapy service market is estimated to reach dollar 165 billion by 2023. So there is a lot of scope for our students to get placed into this particular industry if they are able to uh, acquaintance with the technological, because from now onwards, definitely without the technological acquaintance, they may not be able to perform well even in industry or their own. So the future actually lies in the technology. We have to make them aware of the changing scenario in technology, and make them adaptable to these conditions so that they can perform well. Then next is the gaps between skill set and industry requirement. This we have to address in when we are formulating the curriculum. Skills training is one of the most important factors actually, which is responsible for the placement record. How we train the student, it matters. Okay, the we have to have a provide them the training with the advanced instrument, whatever advanced instrument, advanced techniques, so that when they go out of the industry, readily they are absorbable to the industry. So nowadays, the institutions or industry, they no longer interested for not only in academic excellence. They look for the what is the aptitude of the candidate, whether they have a practical exposure to the real scenario, whether they have the problem solving ability in a real time situation. These are the main thing they mainly assess apart from the academic excellence. So we should have a mechanism to reduce the gap or bridge the gap between skill set and industry requirements. So this uh, uh, so the we have to train the graduate in such a way that our curriculum should be such strong in such a way that they attain whatever skill set they require for the future, and require for the industry. And another graduate challenge will be job expectation. Job expectation in the sense they always look for the return of investment, because they have paid huge sum for some as a tuition fee, and usually parents and students look forward for a return of investments. And mainly we have to understand what is the focus, or what is the job focus of the student, what is the position job of that particular job, what are the wages they are offer, they are looking into what are the wages they are offering, and what is the scope of promotion. All these aspects students may look when it comes to a coming to the placement. So that expectation we have to have a idea on their expectation, and we have to bring those type of industry or institution for the campus placement. And apart from this, not only from the salary, and they usually nowadays students look for what are the other benefit and benefit of the position, what else would they offer apart from the salary, what they offer. So these expectations has to be met when we are planning a campus placement. And next thing, the companies where the looking into the graduate is the what is the job adaptability. Adaptability in the sense how they merge with the environment, especially when in one word we can say the environmental adaptability. Because some majority of the students sometimes they want usually the companies may ask them to relocate into different area, different parts of the country, and many of the time students have a hesitation to do that, and they will have the parents pressure from moving out of one the native location to the different locations. So we have to sensitize them regarding this, and uh, we have to train them how to respond to these change environmental, how to adapt those environment. And this all mainly related to the soft skill, how they gel with the people among them, in the team, and how they can create a team. All this comes under the job adaptability. So then workability, it's nothing but the what I told you earlier, that is a practical workability, the skill training. We have to train our student, especially mainly offer when it comes to allied health science, we mainly offer the skills training. We have to make them ready for the job. What happens is sometime what happens, the skill attainment, the students lack in some amount of in skill attainment. So what happens when the companies come and they based on their academics and interview when they take, but they may not have a skill to do the work. So what happens, the companies has to shell some amount of, they have to train them for 4 to 6 months, then make them job ready. Then it gives a negative impression on the industry or institution which is placing our students, and there is a chance when next time they may not consider our students for the placement. So we have to look into that aspect of skill training, each and in every aspect. Then should have a social and cultural skill, we have to nurture them respecting the culture, because they may not work in the native, they may have to work with people from different religion and cultural background. So though it is important for them to adapt those kind of situation, and we have to sensitize our students or graduate regarding it. And they should be open minded for different ideas and values, because they are in working in a team. And if you they have to leverage in social and cultural difference to create new ideas and increase both innovation and the quality of the work. So these are the challenges which may faced by the graduate, and mainly uh, when looking into the challenges which is related to the graduates, mainly I feel the skill training is one of the major thing, how we train the students, how we make them industry ready. And the soft skills training, that also matters. Soft skill training is an important thing, how it's actually so they have to develop the communication skill, interpretation skill. So we have to have the institute should have a career enhancement program related to this social, for example, social and cultural skill, how they can develop the social and cultural skill, even soft skill development. So, so these were the challenges which may face by the graduate, and what role the placements cell can provide in placing the student. So the major role the placement cell plays in uh, graduate placing is actually they have to boost the employment opportunities. And one of the critical point they have to look into that assist in career counseling and mentoring. The placement sellers play important role in career counseling and mentoring. What are the things actually the career enhancement programs comes under this, the career counseling and mentoring thing. And then placement cell will should help in conducting training workshops and symposiums, so that through that our students to get to know about the different opportunities available in the market. And they also should provide foster for experiential learning. Then they also plays an important role in the cultivating the right attitude of the graduates. And help the institute or department to conduct mock interviews, train them with the mock interviews, so that they can face boldly the campus interview. And technically they have to increase the placement. Definitely the university is going to ask what is the performance of the placements when they are providing you with the infrastructure budget for placement. So increase the ultimately uh, the role of the placement, the major objective of the placement cell is to increase the placement rate among the graduates. So there are many things the placement cell can do to improve the placement, a graduate placement in an institution. So when we look into the challenges, there are challenges which usually faced by the placement cell. There are different challenges like lack of dedicated placement alumni cell. This is important that majority of the institute, when it comes to the university, they may have a common placement cell. Even if they have a common placement cell or platform, it's better to have a institutional whatever institution under the particular university or departments should have a separate placement cell. So that is something which is required. And relying on the same list of company every time only one particular company is coming, you cannot bring diversity in the placement. That is one particular challenge which is placed by the placement cell. And particular location and time, so you don't have a particular physical location or time slot which can be provided to the uh, industry or institution which is coming for the placement. And next is the budget. Placement should have some amount of budget to look after the logical cost and execution of the uh, placement cell activity. And sometimes these are very lengthy, this budget approval, carrying out the placement in a manual way. It's if it is unstructured, it is going to hinder the campus recruitment program. So these are the some of the challenges which is main challenges which is faced by the placement cell. If you can rectify it, if you look into it, if you have to find a solution, then there will be a smooth conduction of the career placement activities throughout the institute. So this is a nutshell in some of the challenges faced by the placement cell. First one is the lack of recruitment data. When you start uh, a placement cell, this is a major drawback we have, the lack of recruitment data. We don't know the previous year graduates where their place, alumni where their place. So you should have a mechanism to gather all this data. Why? Because alumni plays an important role in the placement activities. We are coming into that, and try to bring reputed companies, because uh, you have to placement as a placement cell, you have to communicate with the reputed companies or industries or institution to bring them. You showcase what you have in front of them, then invite them for a placement activity. and get rid of all these manual placement activities. Manual placement activities, usually it's a time consuming and it is unstructured, and it consume a lot of time. And the companies which are industry which are coming to your place don't have that much time. They want to recruit, they might be in need, urgent, there is an urgent need for the graduates, so they may not wait. So if your procedure is too lengthy, there is a high chance they may reject your institutions. And another the crucial thing is the unsystemized training effort. You don't have a systemized training system for graduates, and you have a lot of information regarding that. Is again it will cause a problem when you think of graduate placement. And you are not able to create a link between student and employee. uh, that is again a drawback from the placements. These are the major challenges. One is you don't have an unsystemized training effort. You have a lot of data, but you don't know what to do with that data, and you are not able to bridge the link between the student and the employers. And another challenge is that prepare how you're going to prepare the students for the interviews, and how you're going to collaborate with the educational department, because you have many institute and many departments. How you are going to collaborate with this how you communicate with the educational department for placement. And extending offer letter manually nowadays, nobody as I told you, everybody counts on time, nobody has time. This we have to get away with the manual placement activity, because it's a quite time consuming. So how we can overcome this placement challenges? A university, whether it's a university, institute, of or department, how you can overcome this placement challenge? One of the major, so I have listed out a certain important challenges, or certain important things which you have to look into. The major one is branding. Then you should have a dedicated placement cell, and you should have a proper module design and delivery and assessment mechanism, which is mainly related to the academics. And you should have a regular career enhancement program for the graduates. And you should provide the graduate with the chance or training in entrepreneurial or on-venture training. You should provide externship opportunities to the students, or even you can establish a corporate research share. Then alumni contact, and that is very important one, alumni contact and network when it comes to the placement. And get the feedback is also important, so that you can improve on your placement activities. When it coming to the branding, apart from that, then try to automate all the placement activities in a single platform rather than going for a manual based system. If you have a software platform which can address placement activities, it will be good. So that in one click, the particular company who is looking into a particular graduate get the data of that particular graduate, and can conduct interview and can be placed into that particular industry, or whatever it is. So it's nothing but to generate one click data and reports of all kinds related to the graduates. So you can integrate your LMS, life cycle management system of students, with the placement platform. So it's actually make the campus placement work easy. So coming on to the branding, branding is nothing but, as we all are well aware of it, it's nothing but you capture the industry attention flow, or you are building up your institute profile for visibility. So major one thing you should have is build a professionally designed website. So in that, the navigation is very important. Okay, so you give a the website itself, you can have a certain aspect related to the career placement, can give a link. And when it comes to the branding, one of the major thing, you have to come up with USPs. When I say US, unique selling point of your department, maybe if it is a physiotherapy department, what is the unique selling point of your department specific to your institute or department? For example, institute, you might be the first institute to introduce that particular program in that particular region, and you have some eminent lectures promoting your eminent lectures who comes as a guest faculty or already well established in a research field which belongs to your institution. You can promote in that way also, that promoting for professors lecture with excellent and academy industry background. And one of the major thing in branding is keep the social media presence. So every now and then, whatever activities related to the placement or related to the whatever activities which is carried out in the institute or department, use social media uh, platform to market it out or promote for promotion. Open pages in LinkedIn already you might be having, and better to have a uh, give this social media promotion to students. They usually do it better than us. Open pages in LinkedIn, Insta, FB, YouTube. Especially, I will say when it looking into aspect of placement, mainly we should have or we already the institute should have a LinkedIn account where they can you can post about the placement. Then Insta, because major chunk of our youth now are in Insta. They have get rid of FB now. So make your social media presence felt. Then you can air those whatever webinar and industry lectures which is delivered in the your institute can be aired through social media web page, and encourage them to upload those CV, especially when it comes to the job aspect. Especially the LinkedIn is quite helpful. Once a graduate, just instruct or direct the students to open an account in LinkedIn, which is very much important nowadays. So even students can, or the placement cell can post the request for internship and projects through the LinkedIn. And if somebody is interested, and they will contact you, and you can nurture it for a continuous uh, internship. Then interviews also you can schedule in this platform, and it actually save the cost and time. If when you arrange it in virtual mode rather than in the physical mode. Even majority of the companies now prefer to come in virtual mode rather, because it's very cost effective. And if it is required only, they usually come to the campus for campus placement. And even you can share the student and faculty achievement through these social media. So social media's presence in an important thing which helps in mainly in branding. And once you have proper branding, definitely the industry will be interested in your institution, and you can attract many more institutions to come for or industry to come for placement in your institute. Next is the module design and delivery and assessment. This is part of academics. As I told you earlier, a placement and academics are two parts of a coin. Uh, so you have to design your curriculum based on the need of the current need, and looking to the future trends. What are the future trends of the industry, and you have to include those skill set. What is the current skill set required by a graduate, and what could be the future trend? So this help in syncing with the current market demand. And also the module which you are delivering should identify areas of for future improvement for better placement opportunity against their peers. And major thing is that one major thing how you can improve the placement is career enhancement session. Conduct career enhancement session for graduates. So this you can start when they are in the final year. Like conduct CV writing workshop, mock interview session. Usually students have an inhibition to attend the interviews, so they have to get away with the inhibition to attending the interview. So you can conduct mock interview sessions so that you can equip them with make them stronger so that as confidently uh, face the campus interview. Then also sorry, also you can arrange alumni interaction. You might be having many alumni working in reputed companies or industry. Arrange a webinar or lecture session with this alumni reputed alumni. That also quite helps in bridging the gap between industry and the graduate. And they will get a good feedback from the alumni how to prepare for the interviews, what are the job options available. Even the alumni are able to provide jobs for the upcoming graduates. So that rapport you have to uh, keep up with the alumni. And one thing I always say is this: open and ask the students to have an account in LinkedIn, post their attributes in the LinkedIn. Even they can give a request, internship request, post the internship request in LinkedIn. These all are things helpful. Then how to search in job portal. This is also mandatory. Like the job portals are Indeed.com, Monster.com, Naukri.com. Many of the students doesn't know how to search in these job portal. So that will be an if you train them, and that will be an added advantage for them in searching jobs. And major thing nowadays the company is looking into, apart from the academic skill, what the soft skill, what kind of soft skill the students have. So this also comes under the adaptability skill the students require. When I come to the soft skill, it includes the communication skill, interpersonal skill, and problem solving skill, and creative strategy thinking skill. So, and currently now in the current especially we are in a healthcare system, and we are in a healthcare industry. They are mainly looking into the emotional and social intelligence skill of the candidate. Because emotional and social intelligence is very unique to the human capabilities. And when you look at the healthcare industry, these qualities are absolutely critical or crucial when you treat a patient, when you communicate with the patients. Mm. So job roles as a, for example, I'm saying if it is a physiotherapist, occupational speech therapist, or lab technologist, see, cardiovascular, any allied profession, we mainly involved with the human interface. So any job which have a human interface always require a emotional and social intelligence. So towards the consumer. So this is the most sought after skill. Usually the uh, industry or institute which comes for the placement looking into our graduates. Then you have to next is the skill and competency gap. Actually, as I told you earlier, sometimes there may be a gap between the skills possessed by the fresh graduate and skill required for the specific roles. So to address this challenge, especially we have to make them job ready. Uh, so what we have to do is we have to provide a comprehensive, we have to develop the training program, offer training initiative like mentorship programs, on-job learning. For example, you can provide them with externship opportunities. Try to bring more and more externship so that they have an industry exposure before they graduate, and so that you can build the skill gap and help to acquire the necessary competencies. And even you can collaborate for this purpose, you can collaborate with the institutions. How when you are developing a module or curriculum, get encourage input from the industries and employers to provide their input in curriculum designing. And try to offer guest lecture from industry. Try to get industry project and try to get a externship, so that you can align with your organizational needs, and you can bring down the skill and competency gap of the graduates. And another thing, how you can promote the campus placement is that encouraging entrepreneurial on-venture training. So if in order to do this, you have to arrange appropriate mentors. This can be a faculty, or you can external train. You can bring in external trainer to nurture into a business startup. Uh, I'm sure that you will have an incubation center. Try to encourage students to start their own startup. For example, physiotherapy. If you look into the physiotherapy, they can start their own clinic. Many students, uh, for this purpose, you have to understand the what are the expectations of the student, whether he want to work with a particular institution, or he want to start his own clinic, or his own startup. So we have to mentor them. So you have to provide a mentorship to students, how we can start with how we can start his own internship or clinic, to try to connect him with the alumni who already having an established clinic or not clinic, or how he can get the funding for the establishing that particular clinic, and how your incubator can help him to start that particular clinic, or a particular uh, uh, maybe it can be startup, can be not only clinic, maybe he want to work in some aspect of the uh, company which mainly looking to the maybe for example 3D imaging or something. So we should have a mechanism by which we can help them to start their own venture. So they need training, so we should provide that for the graduates. Another thing is that provide externship and project placement. Get a taste of this. As I told you earlier, this will give a taste of real working world to them. So they becomes job ready. If you can provide the externship, provide students opportunity to take up project issued by the uh, companies or industries. And another thing is that corporate research share. When it comes to corporate research share, what I mean to say is the larger corporate like Microsoft, for example, I mean Reliance. They all have a CSR project, and they have a specific interest in this specific interest related to this corporate social responsibilities. So if you can bridge a connect between to the placements can bridge a connect between this CSR corporate research chair. So it will be helpful for the students to get into those projects, and they can place after this particular project. Then another important aspect is maintain the alumni contact. So try to give an exposure of alumni, interact with the current graduates, understand, let them understand their experience in industry depending on the geographical location. uh, Promote alumni interaction. Alumni even those alumni, those who are placed in the alumni connection industry, it makes very easy for institute to score placement opportunity. If you are somebody is in a higher position, so you can, some kind of influence you can make, and you can place your good graduates in those companies, or even through them you can get internship opportunities or project opportunities. So that will really help those graduate to be placed in industry soon. And last one is the international networking. This allied health, how it is going to help? Actually, it's a very question. But there are, especially when it looking into the engineering side, it is very important. Try to get a focus on overseas, and if it is possible, that will make them a global, will give a global edge among its among counterparts. So these are the things the placement cell can do to improve the uh, graduate placement. And last one is, you should have a placement management software. You automate all the activities of the placement. This placement management software is nothing much. It's nothing but a single platform. It will take care of all the management placement activities. It provides a generate one-click data and report. Invite through them only you invite top companies for the recruitment, and nurture good relationship with the companies. It helps in effectively communicating with the stakeholders, even prepare student with the LMS integration. And the last one is the feedback from the stakeholders. You should get a feedback from all the stakeholders. When I say stakeholders, which includes students, parents, alumni, recruiters, and faculty. This actually improves these feedbacks actually improves quite helpful in designing our curriculum, skill setting, etc. So it in this directly contributing to the placement of our graduates. So in summary, what I would like to say that the current job environment is marked by something called VUCA syndrome. Nothing but it's very volatile, it's very uncertain, and it is very complex and ambiguous. So there is a change in the industry hiring process. So in order to meet this VUCA syndrome, industries are increasingly looking for candidates with the learning agility, flexibility, and not only they are looking into their academics, how well they adapt to the kind of situation, how flexible they are at the workplace, along with their domain expertise. So these present opportunities for academy to groom, it's our responsibility is to groom the student with the relevant skill to keep pace with the rapidly changing technological and uh, business trends. Thank you. Any?
Yes, sir.
I think Sudha Ranga ma'am has raised her hand. Is there any queries from you, ma'am? Can you?
No one raised.
Okay.
Director of Research has given some comments, I think.
Yeah.
That consideration,
So should we read that comment, sir?
yeah.
Director Research has given us a comment like, yes, right. We feel that writing excellent resume, reflecting their skills and unique talents they have, communication skills and attitude during interviews for placement. Was the comment given by our respected Director Research?
What sir said is correct, because they should have an excellent CV. But many of the times what we have seen, it's my observation, many of the times what we have seen is they don't know how to write, how to build up a CV. Instead of focusing on what is the skill set, they will mainly focus on other things which is unimportant to the employer. As sir rightly said, it's very important how they build up the CV. Usually we do conduct workshops or CV writing for our students. That is one of the important aspect. So we invite professionals from outside or from our management institute. So they are well versed in developing a CV. They help them out in developing a CV.
There's one more question from Sri Kumar. How can we ensure better placement to low competent students?
Sir, one thing I would say, when it comes to low competence students, they have to maybe some specific skill training can give them, so that they can excel in that specific area of skill set. And one of the major thing what you have to do, you have to have a good alumni network. This good alumni network always help you in placing the students. I'm not saying that 100% of the student get placed by the companies which or industry comes into the campus. No, we place them through the campus interviews, even through the alumni network, mainly through the alumni network. So that approach you can bring it in.
Basic question here is, a low competent student, even whatever way you train him to place, he will not do justice to the employee.
Yes, or we have to understand what is the basic interest. A low competent in the students may not be interested in that particular aspect which he is studying. So first we have to understand whether he is interested in that. What is his interest? First we have to understand that. Then I feel you cannot say something like the low competent student. You cannot term them low competent student, because you are defining the eligibility for a student. For example, when they come to admission, you define the eligibility, isn't it, sir? You define the eligibility like 50%, 60%. Or if you don't want a low competent student, you raise your bar of eligibility. It is our duty to train them, make them industry ready.
There is one more question from Sri Kumar. What are the modern trends for better placement to technical and non-technical students?
Technical, I'm not actually, I'm not from a technical side. Maybe I'm from allied health science. What is happening in technicals, I am not much aware of what is the uh, mm, what is the current trend in technical side.
The technical side, my suggestion would be for specifically the engineering students or even the arts and science students. See, right from the second year, start of the second year, every semester, if the student is being trained or equipped with one additional technology or domain, that will in fact help them get placement easily. See, we are not looking at those things seriously. It is putting a student for a certificate program. One semester he takes one certificate program. So for engineering, if he starts at the second year, by the end of the final year, he should be equipped with not less than six certificates. That will give him an edge over other students for placement. Likewise, if you take arts and science students at the end of the third year, he should be equipped with not less than 4 certificates. So, which will give him an edge over other students. See, looking at not only just soft skills, we will also have to equip them technically, how they can be employable in industry. So, that aspect, most of our institutions, we are losing out. So, we should be looking at those angles also.
Yeah, skill set is the major thing. Usually they look in how they are whether they are industry ready or not.
Correct.
Even if they get without the proper skill, if they get into industry, ultimately the cost has to be borne by the industry. The extra cost.
See, earlier industries used to come to institution. Now institutions are behind industries.
Yes.
So that is the scenario now. See, it should go back to the original. Industry should come to the institution asking for people with specific skills. So that way institutions can prepare the students for a specific skill and give them to the industry. See, now we don't know who is requiring what. So we are just pumping out raw students without even knowing which industry needs what. So that industry institute connect should be strengthened. Only then you can meet up with the requirement of the industry. The NEP also lays stress on that industry institute linkage should be strengthened. But how far industries come to the institution is a big question.
Here, we have seen is mainly they through the CSR activities. We link through we have a director for it, specifically looking after the CSR activities, corporate social chair we have got. They actually contact with the industries and bring the projects from industries. Even what we do now, even we for our placement, I'm from the allied health background, we do contact our engineering because they are in requirement of many allied health professionals also. Like because they, for example, they have a good knowledge of anatomy and physiology. Then 3D modeling company, when they come, they are in requirement of these graduates. So we do connect with them through our sister institutions. So you have to build a network of all the institutions, and you have to make them aware that industry. You have to make them aware that we have those graduates. You can look into their skill set. If you are ready, if your requirement is there, you can hire them.
There's one more question from Dr. Senthil Kumar. Does LinkedIn platform or other platform help students for placement?
Yes, definitely, sir. They can play once they graduate. They can they can post the LinkedIn, like you are also graduate, and you can, your skill set also you can include in the LinkedIn account, because some of the companies or HR, they actually go through the LinkedIn profile rather than going through the CV.
And one other thing, we have an alumni portal.
Yes, sir.
We have tied up with a company called wow.com. So there they have a provision of grabbing those postings from LinkedIn and other
Yes.
media platforms, and which are posted in the alumni portal. I don't know how far students utilize it. That is where
Yeah,
the gap.
yes, sir. I agree with you, sir. One thing is that we have to sensitize the students, the seriousness of the campus interview. Sometime what happens, industry comes here, they select the students, they offer letter, then students are in a denial. They don't want to join. So that actually jeopardizes the connection between the industry and the institution. So we have to sensitize them what is the importance of this. If you don't have to compel the students who are not really interested in the particular industry to show the numbers, that is going to ultimately is going to indirectly going to affect you only.
There's one more question. How far is the e-portfolio help students for placement? Then regular resumes are seen.
So when you create an e-portfolio, it's not those so much comprehensive. As sir said, where you project your skill set only. That is the main thing you have to project when you're preparing the e-portfolio. Companies are not looking into the academics, yes, but they are mainly looking into your skill set and experience.
Correct. See, I think e-portfolio is something which grabs data on the regular assessments and learning methods of a student. I don't think that grabs skill sets. So that is totally a different scenario. Probably e-portfolios help doctors keeping track of their various assessments and even their clinical exposure. But that doesn't give any outcome on the skill sets one has.
Okay.
Sudhakar, you can share the feedback link.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can send their feedback.
Already
If there are
shared,
no
sir.
more questions, you can call off the session.
Sudhakar,
There is no question, sir.
நீங்க propose
Shall
vote
I-
of thanks.
Shall I forward to vote of thanks, sir? Good morning, one and all present here. On behalf of IQAC coordinator of VMRFDU College of Physiotherapy, organized the 35th quality webinar series on the topic of quality enhancement in campus placement. It has been such a honor and immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Professor Vivek Raghavan sir, accepting our invitation and for being here with us today and took this wonderful topic, especially challenges in placement in quality wise. The presentations were excellent and thoroughly enjoyed them. Thank you so much, sir, for your session is very good. And a special thanks to our director, IQAC, VMRF, Dr. P. Gnanasekhar sir, always supporting and guiding us as a quality in IQAC. Your thoughts have truly inspired for everyone, sir. Thank you for your valuable presence, sir. And I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to my beloved principal, Dr. A. Tam Samrat, sir, for taking the time to join us today for assisting us, who inspires us to achieve our best and service as a pillar of strength in making this event as a wonderful success. I thank you, sir. I deserve special thanks to our IQAC coordinators and criteria champions of various institutions in VMRF. Thank you one and all for your valuable presence. And also extend a thank to IT department to help in online mode. Thank you for your team members. At last, a wide round of applause and thanks to all the participants who made the event a memorable one and a grand success. Thank you one and all.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I leave? I can leave.
Yes,
now?
sir, you can leave.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's our pleasure, sir.